carve yourself a little professional realm out here.
That would be amazing.
You're gonna be good. So we'll see, bro.
Yeah. By the way, if you want, you can put on the headphones, but don't feel like you have to. It's just a courtesy. I mean, we're literally right next to each other, so it don't matter.
Nah,
But-
I like to hear how I sound on the ones and twos.
All right.
On the ones and twos.
Well, like I said, man,
Because my
thank
voice
you.
is a little is different. It's weird. So
I feel you on that, dude. Like, I hate listening when I'm re-editing these things. I realize, like, God damn it, you're so goddamn nasally, and like, in my mind, my voice is a lot like deeper, I guess, than it comes out.
yeah.
And then I hear myself, like, that's all I hear when I'm
Bro,
listening.
I had the
like,
same thing with me, bro. The same thing every time. Like I remember when I first started getting down with comedy.
Yeah.
I hated watching like my videos. Like I hated watching myself do stand up because I didn't like how I sounded. Because I just sounded like a kid every time.
Same. Yeah, that's.
And I'm a grown up.
Same here. You like would
I'm
hope
on
you'd be
stage.
a man by now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I done did the puberty and all that. I mean, I still drink an orange soda, but still, come on.
Right. Like I feel like a man when I wake
bro.
up.
Every time I get on stage, it's just like, yeah, y'all want to hear some jokes?
Oh, that's exactly what I hear. Like
And
a
I'm like,
whininess, right?
I'm like, how do I sound like a baby Chappelle? That sounds gross.
No, I don't hear that from you at all. But I know.
No, not at all, sir.
No, not like that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
like obviously you're a very good comedian. You have a very good conversational style. I can just
appreciate
show
that.
up and
Thank you.
see you somewhere and like people like you, man. You're a likable character.
I try to be likable. I try to be liked.
Don't we all? You know,
I've been bullied before.
Have you?
I try to be liked. I have.
Really?
Unfortunately.
You come off so confident, man. I just can't imagine anybody wanting.
No. I mean, fuck the bullies. Bullies can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Bullies can suck my dick. But I mean, I've been bullied before.
Well, tell me.
I just
about it,
didn't
man.
give a fuck about what they was talking about. But yeah.
Tell me about that because I feel like people need to know how do you deal with the bully.
Yeah. How did I deal with the bully? Oh, you know what I did? I just
And before we get going, I should say we are recording. Is there anything you don't want to talk about? I know we're already like 5 minutes accidentally in my bed.
My bad. I forgot.
No, you're good. I just always got to make sure, ask people at the beginning. If there's anything you don't want to talk about, feel free to take a pause.
Anything I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, or
I don't
like,
know, because I have a reputation for talking too much.
With that in mind, let the games begin. All right, so go back to you talking about bullies.
Oh yeah, hey, this is the walks of life right here. We about to talk
Exactly.
about them all. Shit, no holds barred. I learned that phrase watching wrestling. WCW, no holds barred. But yeah, man, I got bullied when I was younger. I was a victim, as they call it. But I didn't really see myself as a victim. I just love having fun, man. I was just a very just live wire type kid. So when I got bullied, it was just like it was just like some weird shit that happened. So like, me growing up, I'm dark skinned, by the way. Anybody that's never seen me before, I'm a dark skinned guy. So when I was a kid, I'm black when I was a kid. So I got bullied by that. Like people used to talk shit like, oh, look at KJ. Like they used to call me. Okay, so this probably one of the touches. I've never told anybody this. Only people that know me know this. When I was a kid, people used to call me Black Stallion. That was the fucked up part, bro.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but that's such a
No,
traumatic...
you know what? When I was a kid, I hated it. But then when I got older, like in
it could
high
be
school,
worse.
and started doing stand up and shit, and as I started thinking about it, I was like, damn, that shit was funny. It was fucked up, but it was funny as hell. I was like, damn, I wish I would have thought of that first. Wish I would have used that when I was younger first. So, but yeah, man, I just got the black jokes. Anything they said about Michael Blackston, we got that same type of shit. So, but yeah, I had to learn how to talk shit as well when I was a kid. So that's why I still got confidence, because I won many of battles when I was younger. I lost a couple, but I won more than I lost.
Right on. It's all in that shit talking ability.
Exactly. So That's why I don't have like. I mean, I got some insecurities, whatever.
Who doesn't?
Everybody
Yeah.
does. But I just learned to not give a fuck about what bullies, what they were talking about, or shit they were saying, or anything that they wanted to do. It's like, all right, whatever. I'm one of those people who's like, when it's time, it's time. Like if we about action, then when the action start, that's when it start. Until then, I don't give a fuck about what you doing or what you talking about.
When it's time to go, you're ready.
Exactly. That's what my pops taught me. Shout out to Pops. What up, Pop? Ernest, Big Dog. Shout out to Pops, man. He taught me that. He was like, man, you gotta let mad people be mad by themselves.
That's true. That's true, man.
You can't waste your time caring about what another motherfucker doing. You taking energy from yourself. So my pops taught me that when I was about 7, 6.
It's classic Marty McFly syndrome right there, man.
I never hit a bully with a brick, but I always wanted to. I was like, damn, I missed my brick hitting bully chance.
You ever get into a fight as a kid or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been in a couple fights when I was a kid. Just like scuffles though, like maybe like one or two full on fights, but most of my shits was like scuffles.
That's cool.
Where it'd be like, yeah, you think it's a game, cut? And then it'd be over, or the teacher
Everybody
or somebody
walks away, right? People
Yeah.
just getting hard until
The
someone...
teacher be like, hey, what y'all doing in the corner? You're like, nothing, we just reading. Y'all reading too loud. Or, yeah, it's an X-Men comic book.
It's funny, man. All right, we didn't even get into what your name is. You mentioned it briefly, though, but for everybody that doesn't know, let them know. What's your name? What do you do?
It's KJ Robinson. What's up? I'm a comedian. And, I'm a comedian that does stand-up comedy.
All right, man. Where are you from?
A little bit of acting. Originally from Detroit, Michigan. I'm from Michigan by way of Detroit, Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor. A lot of different spots. Southfield.
Is it kind of like being from like the Chicago area where everybody just says like Detroit? Is it easier to like? To be honest, like, because everybody in like Illinois, seems to say like, "Oh, I'm from Chicago." I was like, "Where?" Carbondale, or like
right,
like
that little
like
small
super...
part. I mean, it's kind of like that. But I was born in Detroit City, and that's where my family is. I lived there for a couple years, and then we moved out of the city. But because my family stays in the city, because my entire family is there, my grandmas, aunties, uncles, everybody is there.
Mm-hmm.
And only my mom and dad, we are the only ones that moved outside of the city. So I grew up in Ypsi and in Detroit. So when I wasn't in school, I was in Detroit all the time. So I just that's where I'm from. I'm from that area. I'm from both cities. And the crazy part is, Ypsi is known as Little Detroit. So all the the criminals that would leave the city, go to Ypsi, lay low for a couple years.
Is that what was
get a
called
little
Little
baby
Detroit?
mama or something. Yeah,
That's funny.
because the crime is resemble it, but it's not as big.
That's funny, man.
Like Detroit would be like 8 dead bodies, and Ypsi would be like 2.
That is a big difference, man. 6 counts when you're talking about bodies.
Exactly.
It counts, man. There's a big difference between 3 and 4 when it comes to bodies.
Exactly. Like Detroit, it'd be like, 8 people got shot at the Coney Island. And then in Ypsi, it'd be like, 2 people got shot next to the campus of the library school and shit.
And the Ypsi
like,
people
what?
just say progress.
Exactly.
No,
It's not as bad as that's what people used to say. It's not as bad as Detroit. That's what people used to say back in the day. It's not as bad. Like, people are still dying, man.
Did
But
it
it's
feel
not as
like
bad.
that when you were growing up? Like, did it feel like it was like a rough area?
No, not really. I don't know. No, it didn't feel like it was a rough area. Like, it was still, fights and whatnot. You could hear, little gunshots here and there, but
Just home, right?
yeah, it was just your people's there. You still got friends and all of that, so it didn't feel as tough. But you knew it was tough.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was living in a wild neighborhood. When like one day I went to the park and motherfuckers was selling crack at the park. Like I'm playing basketball on the court. They're like, "Hey, you gotta watch out, little man." I'm like, "Oh, all right." And I'm thinking they about to play a game, and then I'll just see motherfuckers shaking hands for 20 hours. Like, oh shit. Like, so y'all just gonna shake hands the whole day? Like, everybody just shaking hands on the court.
I know, man. I remember walking home from school in middle school and encountering someone who, in retrospect, was definitely a drug dealer and, like, having no idea. You know? Like, no idea. Just walking through this neighborhood, minding my own business. Probably shouldn't have been walking home at that age. But,
Right.
like, it's funny. You were so innocent as a kid, and it's a cliche, but it really is a thing, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you could be put in, like, the war zones in Afghanistan. If that's where you grew up, I'm sure all you see is soccer fields,
Right.
you know? And, like, it's just crazy to think that. It's like, growing up there, then, like, you were pretty comfortable. Did you ever think that you were going to move to California one day? Or, like, did you know you always wanted to be a comedian? Or how'd that come up?
No, man.
No?
I was a weird kid growing up because I just was interested in everything. I never was a kid that was like just focused on one thing.
Yeah.
I was always like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that too. I want to do that too.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of
So,
get that too.
so I just started learning about a lot of different things, but not too in depth. Just like, I just know a little bit about a lot instead of a lot about, one thing.
People, like, there's that phrase, what is it? Master of all trade, or jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a bullshit. I feel like that phrase undervalues how much work it takes to get that passionate about a multitude of things. You know, like it's like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
If somebody has a bunch of interests and they're like relatively good at a bunch of it.
Yeah, we live in that type of social setting where, people expect you to pick a thing and run with it. It's like, oh, you don't, but what do you belong to? That's like. It's
Right,
like a phrase you would hear as you get older. Like, your life doesn't belong to anything. What are you dedicated to? And I'm just dedicated to life, man, and having fun doing it.
Get rolling with it and just seeing where it goes.
Exactly. If it brings me into a den of thieves, then that's where I'm at. But if it brings me into a den of wives, maybe not wives, maybe like a den of promiscuous ladies, then yeah. But not wives. That sounds more like a responsibility. A den of wives.
That's funny, bud.
That sounds like a lot of just loose dishes are in that den.
That sounds like a lot of like taxes, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
To keep track of,
just like a lot of pot roast pans that are dirty.
Yeah, no.
Come in this den and clean this. It's like, oh shit.
It's hard enough to be domesticated for one person, let alone 9. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, are y'all a whole team? Yes, this is the coalition of wivedom.
Were you a good, did you have a big imagination as a kid?
Oh, yeah, one of the biggest, bro.
Yeah? I feel like you had, like, you must have had, like, a badass imaginary friend. Am I off?
You know what? I didn't have an imaginary friend. I just had a very, like, extensive toy collection.
Yeah?
And so all of my toys, I talked to them. It's like they were just the person that I would just kick it with them. So I had all the X-Men, had all the Power Rangers, all the Ninja Turtles. So I would have like a little war with all of my toys in my room, and it's just like 1,000 conversations. Like, oh, we about to go to the mountains, and the mountains would be like a chair. And then, oh, we about to, you gotta go underground through the things. So we fighting under the bed. It was just weird, man. I was a weird kid.
No, dude, I think that's pretty normal for
I just lived out a lot of episodes.
I hear it. Did you watch a lot of TV as a kid?
Just cartoons, a lot of cartoons. Bugs Bunny, all the action cartoons. Which I will say right now on this podcast, on the Walks of Life, all of our cartoons are better than these new cartoons, as I heard. So you new cartoon kids can suck it.
I mean, there's some good ones that have been around, but definitely, like, I feel like there was a lot better. There were definitely more quality cartoons when we were growing up. Like,
Definitely.
What were some of your favorite shows?
Oh, man, anything Marvel animated. So just Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, the Hulk. All of those from all the 90s animated cartoons. Batman, the animated series, bro. Like I feel like our cartoons had like real themes and morals in them.
That's fair, yeah. Like I feel like a lot of them too, like reference classic literature a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, like,
yeah, Robert Frost, all kind of cool shit, man. Like, and like in cartoons they would have like people would get shot. I remember that I always used to watch this cartoon called Gargoyles.
Yeah.
If y'all got Disney Plus, check out Gargoyles. It's dope. There's an episode where one of the gargoyles shoot the lady that's on their squad. Shoot the detective. I forget what her name was. And yeah, it was like a gun violence episode. It's like,
That's
don't be playing with
crazy.
guns. But she got for sure shot in the gut, bro. They took her to surgery the whole time. I was like, oh, this shit is like a Law and Order episode. But for kids.
Yeah, isn't it weird to look back and see like there's a lot bigger themes than you ever saw? Like, I remember looking back on this episode of like Fraggle Rock one year. Like, I found like a bunch of Fraggle Rock VHSs in my mom's like garage.
Oh shit!
So me and my sister popped them into like a VCR and started watching them. And I just remember being blown away watching this one episode that was clearly about like the Berlin Wall.
Oh,
it was all in
that's
Fraggles.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
They
bro.
were building a wall separating the east and west side of like Fraggle Rock. And like I remember like I used to watch all of these when I was a kid, or at least I thought I did.
Right.
I don't remember.
It's like, I don't remember this episode.
Yeah, like
I must have been busy on this.
yeah,
day.
but like you watching it, and I was like, clearly they want to leave an impression on the kids that see
Right.
this.
Bro,
This is such an anti-communist thing. It was weird to look back and see.
It was crazy, bro. The program, and then that's like part of the programming too as a little kid, cause like that's way too political to be in Fraggle Rock, bro. Fraggle Rock, there's like some little muskrats in the dungeon.
Well, I don't know.
Living their life.
I feel like the 90s was like a weird time where like things were changing and you could start to see it in cartoons. Like
They had the black and white theme in cartoons a lot.
yeah, that and then like divorce would always come up. You remember that? Like there was like a divorce episode of like every 90s cartoon.
Yeah, bro, it was.
The Rugrats had the sad ass episode
Yeah,
of
they
Chucky's
did.
mom. Like
I remember that. Oh, that was hilarious. I remember that. She got mad at dude because he was just being goofy and shit.
they just didn't work out because they weren't compatible. Trying to lay it all out there for you so that when you get broken up with at 16,
Divorce?
it's not a surprise.
What do they call it? Divorce? Divorce?
Something sad.
Are
I'm
you
sure.
getting divorced, Chucky? I don't know, you guys.
I just remember that like a lot of television shows, a lot of like movies had divorce as a running theme in like the early and mid 90s. I feel like.
Yeah, that was the
Like,
right. Like all the diehards was just at the beginning of every Die Hard movie, you're just like, yeah, the wife's not talking to me,
yeah, exactly.
but I gotta save all these people. Like even in the first Die Hard, he was going through. Like him and his wife was fighting, but he still was like, "Bitch, I'm about to save your whole ass."
because
Say this building whole ass people that like she don't even like me, but it's cool. I'm about to still shoot all these Russians.
that was such a good
Hopefully,
movie,
I get
man.
a sandwich at the end of this.
It
Yeah,
is
man.
kind of sad to think that like he just had to like process all that shit on his own. He didn't have anybody in his corner to talk to. But
John McClane has so many layers. He had what's his name? Carl Winslow to talk to.
oh yeah, that was his one
That's
buddy.
the only guy.
Like, we just feel sorry for Tom in the office. You know, it's like,
Exactly.
he's always spending holidays alone. I try to give him a card, and like it does. I don't know if he was helping.
Oh man, he just can't. He
Yeah.
just don't want to hang out. Sorry, he's just there.
No, but like just remember that too, because like I remember my mom was going through a divorce, and back then, and she would always like suggest I watch this movie or this show or this episode, and they were all various.
Was your mom a
forms of-
substitute teacher?
No, not at all. She was like a secretary, super secretary.
Oh, okay.
Not to be diminutive, but anyway.
Right.
Sorry, Mom, but no, she's cool. But I just remember she would always suggest like I watched this new show and like what's it about? Well, it's a cartoon. I think you'd like it. I was like, well, it's home movies and it's about divorce.
Right, exactly.
What's this show called? It's Man of the House. It's a good movie. It's with
Man of
Jonathan
the
Taylor
House.
Thomas and Chevy Chase.
Hey, I love Man of the
I don't know
House.
what it is.
Chevy Chase.
It's about divorce.
Hey, Chevy Chase is like a all-star movie though. He like 10 for
Yes.
10.
He is, dude.
Like,
Like
every movie he made, it's been hilarious and dope. And I don't know if it's been a hit at the box office because I don't count people bread like that. But yeah, he been doing
Dude.
his thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Back in the
to
day.
See, like we're living in a new era. Like, I guess it's gonna be drive-ins for a while, right? Like
Right.
they're gonna have to adjust the price.
Gonna have
Nobody's
do
trying to
something.
pay $40 to go see your tired movie anymore.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? I
Yeah.
went to the drive-in recently. It was like $10.
See,
It's still $10 to get into the drive-in.
that's not bad. That's what it should be, man.
I remember back in the day, we used to hide in the trunk to get people in.
Oh, now they check it, dude.
They check the trunk now?
They check it. I remember going one time to a drive-in. It's the saddest story ever. But I went by myself one time. I just wanted to go see a movie. I didn't really want to go to the theater. I didn't really want to get out of the car.
Right.
I didn't have anybody. I didn't think it was going to be that sad.
Let's just go chill at the drive-in.
Yeah. Like, I think, whatever. There's probably a bunch of single dudes out here doing it. Nope.
Not at all, buddy.
Yeah.
Not at the drive-in, bro.
No, I remember pulling up. And they were like, "It's just you?" Like, yeah. Like, can you pop the trunk, sir? Like, but, and like,
They
in that
said,
moment,
no, fuck that. Can't be.
Well, the worst part is, man, like, what's worse? You know, if you have someone in there or if you don't.
Right, exactly. What's worse?
But
You're like, no, I guess it's just him.
yeah.
Hey, man, it's on the house tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah,
They feel that bad.
You just sit in the corner. You know what? Get a soda on us.
Right, exactly. He go a voucher. Bro, the drive-in was the spot, bro. That was the spot
Was it
back
fun?
in the day. Yeah, I remember hitting. Like, I ended my prom night at the drive-in with this
Really?
chick, bro. That was the shit. We had a nice dinner.
Yeah.
We went to prom, wild out. Then we went to the drive-in and watched, I don't know what, but you know, it was a good
great
evening.
time.
Yeah, you know, it was a good evening. I don't remember what we watched.
It's funny, man.
But yeah, shout out to that prom date. Yeah.
Do you
What
remember
up?
her name?
I do, but you know, I'm not allowed to.
No. I'm
say,
not trying to get you in trouble. Or,
not, NDAs and stuff like that.
I understand.
Disclosure agreements and but my NDA say bodily harm in it, so I can't really.
It's funny, man.
I just, I know many people wish death upon me if I talk about girls that I used to see. Anywho,
I can't imagine anybody ever being mad at you, man. Like,
you know what?
you're
People,
still-
they don't
yeah.
stay mad at me, but people get mad at me.
Oh,
I'm like,
could be worse.
I'm the comeback guy. I'm one of those guys.
Dude, I've been told that I've got to go to build. As a comedian, you got to develop that muscle a little bit, right? You got to be able to recover from whatever
The
crazy shit
recovery
you might
muscle,
say.
exactly.
Have you ever had like a moment when you're doing stand up where you had to like completely turn a room back around?
Oh, plenty of times.
Yeah, right. Like,
I did this show one time in Ohio. I think it was in Bowling Green. It was like on a college campus.
mhm.
And I was with my homeboy, but I did this show in front of all of these feminists, and I started talking about dating this feminist and how she like she didn't know how to be sexy because the way she viewed women, it just wouldn't allow her to be sexy and shit. Like she would watch a Nicki Minaj video and be like, "This is degrading." I'm like, "Bitch, that's ass. What you talking about? You got the same thing."
Depends on your perspective.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
it's
ain't gonna-
empowering.
You ain't gonna shake that? You ain't gonna shake it too? You know you can shake it. It ain't against the law. You ain't hurting nobody.
So the feminists didn't like this? You tell me? They weren't feeling it?
They weren't feeling it, bro. I just had to talk about how I had to bring it back by just talking about how women run relationships. How they in charge most of the time.
That's funny that
Even
that
though
brought him back.
yeah, exactly. Even though men like women be in charge and we think we in charge. Like men think we in charge, but we don't know. The women just be they be controlling our whole shit.
Yeah,
They be like, "You want something to drink?" You be like, "No," and then the woman be like, "He need to drink something." So she'll be like, "I'm about to get something to drink," and then the dude be like, "Yeah, give me a
2 drinks.
give me a soda." Like, yeah, I knew his ass was gone. As soon as I get something. So I had to figure it out without. I didn't want to get a whole bunch of threatening Facebook messages back then. That's when people used to post on the wall.
Oh,
Hard.
and they can tag you without your permission. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is before all the Facebook rules.
The censoring. Of
This is
Facebook
before
stuff.
this is before the elementary kids was on Facebook.
Yeah, man. Like,
no one's
so,
supposed to know how old I am. But anyway, what were you gonna say? What you
dude,
gonna
I
say?
doubt you're like. I'm pretty sure you're younger than me, so don't even trip.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. Like, what is age?
I
After
still
a
go.
certain point.
Exactly. I still go to ice cream shops, so I don't even feel that. Oh, you know.
Yeah, no. What was the ice cream shop you were telling me you were thinking about?
It's one in Corona. It's called Michi's.
What makes it so special?
It was, you know what? I know the owner of that place now.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes
like
sense.
I done got to know the owner, and she always like say some funny like slick shit about me being a comedian.
That's
Like, oh, how them
funny.
jokes coming? This ice cream better make them jokes better. I'm like, yeah, it do a little bit. So this ice cream better not make me sick, motherfucker.
She's like, I put some extra talent in your ice cream. Hope you enjoy it.
Exactly.
Wink.
Them sprinkles is for you and them jokes. But yeah, no, it's just one of those places that make California feel more like home. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, all right, so let's get back on that. Like, when did you finally make the leap to come to California, or was it because of stand-up?
It was.
So, like, how'd you get into stand-up? You're living out in Detroit. You going through school. Like, did you go to college anywhere, or did you?
I did. I went to Eastern Michigan, and I went to Wayne State University.
Right on, man.
And let's see, man. I got into stand-up in high school, actually.
Right
So
on.
like I've always watched comedy. I've always, been a fan of comedy, watched stand up. Def Comedy Jam used to be my shit. Like still is my shit. I still watch Def Jam to this day, like for real. And that was like my thing. It actually hurt my feelings when I got into comedy and people would like talk shit about Def Jam style comedy. They're like, oh, you a Def Jam comic. Like they would say it with a negative tone. And they're like, bitch, Def Jam comedy is what put this shit on the made this shit fire, bro. What do you mean?
It is kind of crazy when you start doing comedy and you like meet people that like you look up to that don't necessarily mean a lot to other people, and then like it's almost like people don't believe you that like you like feel like you're genuinely moved that you met, like Earthquake or whoever.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but
exactly, man. It's like,
no, I get it, man. Like there's those things that just mean a lot to you.
yeah, and it was just like you definitely meet comics that that love the same things as you, but then
Yeah.
there's other comics is like that they don't necessarily dislike that style of comedy, but that it just have like a certain disdain for it, like
Yeah.
like it's just a negative connotation placed on Def Jam comics, like holding your dick and talking shit to the audience and like it's like that shit is funny though. That's solid.
Well done, right? Yeah, like elitists exists in everything, and like you're not always gonna please everybody, but at the
Exactly.
end of the day, like comedy on
Said elitists are
Fortunate-
everywhere.
it's true in everything, every field. Sometimes I'm an elitist, but no,
Right. I feel
we
it.
all can slip into it. But at the
course.
same time, at its core, like comedy is pretty simple. Just
Yeah,
be funny.
Exactly. It's pretty
You gotta
simple, bro.
hold your dick in your hand and fart. I mean, if it's gonna
Right.
get you out of the hole,
If you gotta
do
fuck
it.
the stool,
do it. Yeah,
fuck the stool, bro.
exactly.
But yeah, I got into stand up in high school. Like I said, I always watched comedy, Def Jam, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence, all of these people, George Carlin, John Leguizamo, Carlos Mencia, goofy ass. But my high school senior year,
Mhm.
my pops talked me into doing some stand up comedy.
Your dad did?
My dad, yeah, my pops. He
What?
was like, you funny, go ahead, just try it out. You don't know.
Was he a
Yeah.
comedian?
No, he was not a comedian. My pops was a chef and a DJ.
Right on.
Yeah, so
Well,
he
so
was
he's
like,
got the hustle in him.
yeah, he was the man of the people, man. He always worked, but he always was just a people guy. So, and he's been funny forever. So, he just never been funny on stage. He tried though. He told me, it's like, yeah, I tried to do it. That shit ain't work though. That's exactly how it went. He said that shit ain't work though. And then we started talking about my school clothes. So that's how that conversation went.
It's funny.
But so my high school senior year, I did my talent show for school,
Mm-hmm.
And I did the tryouts, and the tryouts went great. So I made it on the show. I didn't think I was gonna make it on the show, but I made it on the show, and I almost won. I almost
Really?
won. Yeah, but I said the N word 3 times,
They can't.
so I
give it
got
to you, or
disqualified.
what? Oh.
Yeah, I got disqualified.
I mean, what was the content? No. Dang, dude. That's ballsy, by the way, that they turned it into a competition against you all. Like,
It was a
That's funny.
real talent competition. It was somebody did like flagpole dancing or
Twirling,
whatever. Yeah, the
yeah.
flag. Somebody did that. Somebody sang R&B. It was a couple R&B
That's
singers.
funny.
A regular white person singer. Like I don't know how to make that. What's white R&B called? Is that called just pop or
Like
is that
Sublime? Is Sublime white R&B? Or what do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know, like some Eric Clapton or something.
Oh,
Like what
okay.
is that?
Or like UB40 type of, okay.
You know, you're naming groups I have yet to discover.
UB40
but,
did the Red Red Wine song.
oh, the red
Red
wine.
wine.
Okay, yeah, that's
heard
like
that
white R&B. Yeah.
Everywhere in the 90s.
Yeah,
right?
that shit is everywhere.
That
Some
is
Matchbox 20 type shit. Yeah,
That is a Tommy Bahama song. Like, if they put out a mixtape, that's number one.
okay. Bet he said mixtape, so that's at the top. But yeah, it's like one of those. Trying to define white R&B right now. Oh man, that's gonna be that's gonna be the new shit that pop off next year. I'm
You
telling
never
you.
know, dude. Like, I think the way out of this weird time is going to be like incredible risks. Like, there's
Yeah,
going to be a
bro.
bunch of entrepreneurs. Art's going to be people in art and the arts in general, I'm sure, are going to take
Mhm.
more risks. Like, because we are so suppressed right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's going to be like a creative explosion once
It's
we're
gonna
like,
it's gonna have to
free.
be some type of explosion. Hopefully, it's creative. I don't want it to be
That's true. It could very go a different type of explosion.
right.
and
Knowing
I'm-
America,
I
knowing
really
the
don't
United
want that
States,
either. Yeah.
that shit go left every time.
Oh my
You be like,
God,
oh yeah, it's gonna be a great time next year. Virus. You like, no.
I know. I was telling someone else like yesterday about this. Like, I did not see this coming,
Mhm.
or even being a possibility. Like, no one did.
Exactly.
And you know,
think we learn?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Time
man.
and time again, history proves that we are just people.
Mm,
We're
yeah.
just humans making mistakes.
You
Yeah.
know what? I'd like to declare I didn't make no mistakes. I'd like to say I give all the credit to the government making
Yeah,
the mistakes
exactly.
for me,
Yeah, it is a weird time. We're-
putting me in harm's way. They're terrible parents.
and I should note, as we are sitting here, we are speaking through masks that we are wearing
Oh yeah.
because we are good citizens.
We're-
We are
we're staying
responsible citizens.
You know, and we don't even have to do this because y'all ain't gonna see this shit. You can't verify. You just gotta go off our word, okay? Human trust. That's public trust right there.
And you know what the best thing
Meaningful.
about this? We don't even have to prove it to you because we know in our heart of hearts we're doing it.
Exactly.
Because we're that good of people.
Exactly. That's the type of love we have for our environment
And for you.
and for you people.
This is for you.
Exactly. This for y'all.
You think it's for me and him?
Nope, not at all.
This is for you.
I could be eating a sandwich right now, but no.
He chooses to engage in public address with you people with a mask on so that he doesn't spread the virus any more than he already might have had.
Here,
Just kidding.
here.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. We got way off track. So
All right,
you were saying your
anyway.
dad...
Yeah.
No. I'm just kidding. This is fun, though.
Yeah. Well, this is no. What was I saying? Oh yeah. It's
Your
talent
dad
show.
wanted
Talent
you
show.
to
Talent
do
show.
comedy. He said, go try it out. You did the talent show. You almost won the talent show. You said 3 and the limit was 2. And
the limit was a 0,
Just kidding.
but I said the N word 3 times. I ended up losing to a breakdancing crew.
Always in the
Yeah.
90s. Always.
Every
That was
time, bro.
that's why. What was?
Oh no,
the-
this is 2000s. This 2000.
2000s?
This is
All
2000. This is, I ain't that old. I ain't that
even
goddamn
more.
old.
Even more reason though. Back then is when
Yeah.
So You Think You Can Dance was coming out. The Jabberwockies.
Oh,
were
the
on
ABCD,
rise, right?
America's Best Dance Crew. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly when this shit happened too. So right around that time.
People were discovering Zapp and Roger
It's like,
left and
what?
right. Like, it was
It's
it's a
like,
new
what is
era.
this? What's SWV? Like, it's not a disease. It's an R&B group. But yeah, and I ended up losing. But I did a whole bunch of jokes about like my little brother and my family and my mom. I did this one joke about my mom where how my mom like is kind of like a hypocrite. So like I would get in trouble for I got in trouble for cursing one time. And it wasn't even a really like it wasn't even a really bad curse word. Like I was doing homework and my mom was on the phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, I can't do this." And my mom was like, excuse me, hold on. Who the fuck taught your stinking ass how to motherfucking cuss? Who taught your dumb ass how to fucking cuss? I'm
I
like,
hope you didn't say her.
Right. I was like, Pops did.
Right.
He taught me all these words. What else you just say? Stupid motherfucker. Yeah, Pop say that same thing. He said,
He said all those words you just said.
I don't even know where I learned that shit.
So I mean, it was, and then after that, you wanted to go out and try it again, or like how long now?
Yeah, you know what? My pops, he actually got me a spot at the comedy club,
Mm-hmm.
one of the local comedy clubs in our area, which was the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. Shout out to the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, man. That's like my home club right there.
Very cool.
That's where I developed that. I developed in a lot of different space, but like they gave me a lot of opportunity there. And you know, they've been doing their thing since the 80s. He got me a spot on one of their open mics. I met a whole bunch of people there. And ever since then, I just been like, you know, trying to figure out ways to get up and be funny and have fun.
Right on.
And become a comedian.
Very cool, man. And like, there's nothing else you've ever wanted to do? I imagine once you got into this, did you realize like,
No,
this is it for me, or
it
what?
turned into this. You know what? Like I said, when I was a kid, I wanted to do everything. So
Yeah.
like, at one point, I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be a space, an astronaut or whatever. I was gonna say a spaceman.
I was like, all right. Proceed.
I was gonna say I'd be a spaceman. He'd be like, "Oh, what did you smoke before you do this interview, sir? You want to be a spaceman?" No, wanted to be an astronaut, a cop. I wanted to be a artist. Like a cartoonist. I wanted to draw cartoons at one point. I wanted to be a cartoon at one point.
You know, what's funny is I found something that I wrote the other day that said I was going to grow up to be a cartoon too.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I was like, oh.
That's what's
Almost.
up. Cartoon brothers.
Almost,
exactly.
Just
missed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And then as I got older, you know, you kind of hone it in a little bit, and
Yeah.
you tend to like start following the footsteps of your parents a little bit. So my dad, he was a chef and a DJ. You know, I started DJing with my dad when I was little too, when I was probably like 11, 12, 13.
Like actual vinyl.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, like you know, a little bit here and there with the mixer and you know the records and all of that. But I didn't pick that up though. I didn't pick it up too much. I started helping them DJ at parties a little bit. But then, you know, the comedy thing was calling me, and my mom's a social worker, so I started leaning in towards that field as well, because you know, that was my mom's life, so I was a part of that growing up as well. So, you know, sometimes I would meet clients and, you know, and just help her out, you know, in her career. So that grew on me big. So when I got, you know, after the high school talent show, it was that was like, you know, what I went to college looking for, is to become a social worker and to do stand-up comedy. So, you know, I started doing acting classes, you know, doing improv and whatnot, and also that my major was social work. So I ended up graduating with a BSW, Bachelor's of Social Work.
That's very cool.
And a minor in theater. So,
you know, what's funny is like there's actually a lot of comics. There's a big comedian social work connection.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I never realized it, or really, I guess big is like is kind of a stretch, but I know when I was reading Judd Apatow's book, Sick in the Head, which is like a book that's a collection of like interviews that he tricked bigger comedians into doing when he was a kid. A couple of them, I think it was Martin Short, Louis Anderson, and I can't think of the third guy's name. Eugene Levy.
Okay.
They were all social workers, and
Oh,
they
sweet.
all became comedians.
That's what.
Yeah, and then like you meet other people that were, I can't think of any other people, but I know for sure there are other bigger comedians that started out in social working too. So maybe there's some connection that we don't even realize.
Yeah, man, it gives you a different aspect, a different perspective on
Life.
well, life for sure, and then just the way you develop your jokes as well. How you look at certain things.
What do you mean
How you
by
look
that?
at people. Well, you just take into account certain things like, just like what things mean to certain people.
Yeah.
And different subgroups of people. So like people that have been victimized, or people that's been through had certain experiences. You probably care a little bit more about that instead of making fun of it.
When you're writing material, do you think you have like an internal filter that kind of
Yeah, of course.
guides you?
Yeah, I have a gut that tells me, hey, that's not a good thing to say. And then I got a gut that be like, you know what, fuck it.
You should say that.
That shit is funny, bro. Say it like that. It's funny.
Yeah.
Who cares? So you weigh the pros and cons. You weigh your options, and I feel like every comic has that. But
I feel like some more than others.
Oh yeah, definitely some more than others. Yeah. But it's different when you like serve that community, or you help that community of people. So now you have a different affinity for them than the average person has.
Yeah.
So then when you say something, you become a little bit more cautionary.
I feel you.
Or you just care a little bit more. So,
is there like a certain type of comedian you want to become?
No.
Yeah.
I just want to be me. I just want to be, a respected one.
Yeah, I feel you. I think it's generally.
I think that's what it is.
Want, right?
I think it's just I think that's what everybody strive for, is the respect and the admiration, I guess, but just to be accepted. You want that acceptance and you want that respect.
Yeah.
You don't want to be accepted and then nobody respects you. Like, yeah, he's a comedian, but fuck him.
Yeah, as much as like I don't like to admit that there's like a people pleasing aspect to this. Like that's all this is. That's all this is.
Yes.
And like I know that I've done a lot of work.
Sociopath type shit.
I guess. Or like maybe being too empathetic. I don't know. No, there's definitely there's definitely a big part of doing comedy that is just seeking people's validation.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know.
No,
I don't know how you're gonna look at it. It's just, it is what it is.
I wouldn't put it fortunate. I would say or unfortunate. I would say it's fortunate. Like, it's comics that look for that, and there's comics that don't look for that. Like, I opened up for Godfrey one time. Shout out to Godfrey, man. One of the funniest dudes.
That's awesome.
I grew up watching him too, man. He's a hilarious dude.
He's a legend for
very
sure.
Animated. One of the only comics I've seen like in real life, and he been like ripped as hell, just like he was on stage. Like, this nigga strong as hell. He got the strong. This motherfucker strong. But yeah, he looked like a weird black comedian superhero. It was weird. But anywho, and he know a lot about rap. Anyway, but no, he told me, he was like, yeah, man, you gotta. He had that not giving a fuck aspect. He came up in the Chicago scene and the New York scene, so he kind of got that not giving a fuck about what the crowd talking about type of swag on stage.
When he did warm up for I forget what TV show, but he was like an audience warm up for a TV show for years. I forget when it was, but I remember listening to him in an interview, and he was talking about how sometimes he would be having to do it for like 6 hours in total, every day, Monday through Friday.
That's crazy.
Because they'd be on set and they'd have so many breaks.
Mm-hmm. Like little takes and stuff.
Yeah, and like he was one of the first people that I'd ever heard saying too that like unless you're in the New York comedy scene at some point in your career,
you won't be
I don't really have that too, right? I don't have respect for you because like you're not out here grinding like we are, doing like 5-6 spots a night. And like I realized like he has an incredible work ethic. But yeah, I'm sorry to get too far off of that.
Oh no, that's no. We talked about that for sure. Like one of the nights that we did a show. It's like I think it's like the last second. I think it was the second to the last night or the last night, and the last show of that night. He did like a 3-hour set or a 2-hour set or something like that.
That's crazy.
And the
man.
bookers, they was mad. They was like, we gotta get out of here. But the crowd was loving it. But then some of the crowd people was like, this shit is going on too long. And he was on stage. He was like, look, y'all can leave if y'all want to. I'm gonna keep talking my shit though. I ain't done yet. So, but if y'all need to get the fuck on, go ahead. Ain't nobody holding you up.
That's impressive though, to be able to go that long.
Yeah,
man.
bro. He was like, he was on one that night. It was crazy. I was like, oh yeah, that's crazy. The New York swag, the New York style. They become professional ramblers.
You think so? Is that how you would break it down?
I feel like it. I feel like most of the comics. I feel like you can develop that anywhere though, if you dedicate yourself to it, for sure. But like, I've done stand up in New York, and it gets like that sometimes. Like comics will be on like their fourth set or whatever that night or whatever, and it turns into rambling. It just turns into like whatever they was talking about in their first set, that should have turned into mush by their fourth set, and now they just cussing people out and talking shit.
So in your own personal philosophy, do you think there's any advantage to doing like multiple mics a night?
Yeah, man. I feel like it's definitely an advantage to doing multiple mics, but it just depends on what you want out of comedy.
Yeah.
It depends on what do you want out of, the actions you taking towards your comedy career, and it could be detrimental, but it also could be beneficial because you become long-winded, you become, your gears learn to turn more because you've been on stage so much, so now it becomes second nature to you, and you have you develop that no fear of a stage because you've been on. That's the only thing you've ever done is just been on stage, so you have that for sure. But then at the same time, you could become somebody that just your material or what you're talking about can become too convoluted, and people are just like, what is this guy talking? You become the weird stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's about to talk about something no one gives a shit about.
I feel
it's like, have you guys heard what ants do? And they're like, no, we don't care about what ants do. Fucking ants, man. They drink milk from their dicks. You're like, oh, shit.
Ants are like the cows of the floor. No.
Did you know that ants make fucking milk, bro? You're like, oh, shit. Why? Who ordered this? Stand up.
That reminds me of...
Bring me another tequila shot.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that reminds me of, not to talk too much shit, but I'm going to talk a little.
Okay, go ahead. Hey, this your podcast, man.
Yeah,
Get busy.
No, yeah, thank you. And the floodgates were open. No,
right.
No, so we're sitting out here, real talk, in my car, in the air conditioning, because it's very hot outside, and we were going to shoot outside the Improv.
Desert heat.
In Ontario. It really is desert heat. Ontario, California. But they've got it turned into like an outdoor, like air market, swap meet type deal.
It's like a bazaar out there.
Yeah, it really is. So we figured might as well just take some photos, do our thing out there, come back into the cool car and talk. But as we were sitting here, I just started thinking about, and when we first got in the car, we kind of started talking about how the Improv was like your big first place when you came out here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And like in my mind, admittedly, I was kind of afraid to come out and do this, because I felt like everybody out here was going to judge me, and this is like a real club, and there's more pressure. But nah, most mics are just mics. Unfortunately, like you can put all the pressure in your mind around it, but like they're just the same. And
if it say mic at the end of it, that bitch gonna be regular.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, man.
There's
like
nobody there.
But I will say the kind of the cool thing about this is, if I'd never come to this mic in particular, I don't think I'd ever see that guy. I can't think of his name. I want to say it's Lone Ranger.
Oh, is that a nemesis?
Ghost something? No. Remember, have you ever seen the guy here that dresses up in Western attire.
Oh,
He has
shit.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
talking
seen
about?
that guy.
And he has
I don't
an
know what his
Alien
name
versus
is.
Predator style mask on like a Western gear with
Yeah.
like boots.
I've seen that guy.
And
for
like
sure.
he has a puppet, and sometimes
He
he's
got a
doing
lot of
music.
shit.
Yeah, he does. He's got like a whole little suitcase that he
got
brings
a whole
out.
like Wes Craven
Yeah,
vibe.
I'm not even sure. Is it
Stevie
comedy?
King shit.
Is it comedy?
I don't know, bro.
Like, but yeah, like had I not come here, I don't think I'd ever see something like that.
Oh man, he's showcasing something.
Yeah, exactly. So the point of it being, I mean, I guess that guy is doing what he wants, and he's got a point.
Hey,
Otherwise, he wouldn't be thinking about it and planning it out. Because by no means is it a simple act.
No, take a lot of gumption to get all of that shit up there.
But yeah, like maybe don't be that guy. Maybe be a people pleaser. Something to think about.
Hey man, sometimes
but he
you gotta
is
take
doing
matters in
his
your own hand.
right. Yeah, I gotta give him respect. He is doing his own thing. He's being authentic to himself.
I mean, weird, but it's his shit.
I mean, in his mind, maybe he's killing it. I don't really know. But,
Yeah.
So you came out here.
Yeah, man.
And you settled out here. You started coming out to the Ontario Improv.
Mm-hmm.
This is your first time out here. By now, I imagine you've done a couple of the improvs.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
That's cool, man. And like, just even those little victories, I imagine, make you feel more validated and like a real pro, right? Like, are there certain things that you want to get done in your career for sure? Like, do you have goals?
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, you wanna create a project that everybody loves. You know, you want to be a dope creator. You want to, you know, that's definitely one of my goals. Being a part of a great project. That's all. You know, that's a goal I have as well. You know, I'm not opposed to, you know, working with anyone, and you know, to just, you know, be able to. I don't know. It's one of those. You know what my biggest goal in comedy is to be able to perform anywhere.
Just
to have
walk
that,
in.
Yeah, to have that respect where it's just like I walk into a club and they're like, "Oh, that's KJ. Yeah, he can get up if he want to." No matter what it is, it's just like, "Oh yeah, that's him. I know him. Let's get him up. Let's get him up. He funny. He that. I want to get to that level of talent. You know, I want to have that level of talent where people, you know, see it and they just like, yeah, he can. He's great all the time.
You're pretty much there, man. Like, I remember, honestly, you're getting there. 'Cause
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, like I remember going through. I had a random show in Lemon Grove, San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to William Davis, cool guy.
William Davis.
Yep, had me out there at the VFW in Lemon Grove.
VFWs.
Performing for a bunch of Navy people, and that was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I love performing at VFWs.
I had never been to a VFW. I didn't know it turns up, man. Like,
they get loose
like,
in there, bro.
Yeah, like they basically give unlimited alcohol, or if
it's
not
they
unlimited,
own,
but it's heavy.
It's like they own little town hall.
Yeah,
and like, they just bring it's BYO everything, like BYOE, like bring your own all the shit you want.
But it was actually pretty beautiful inside, and like it was big. Like everybody was having a good time. Once the music started rolling and the barbecue started coming out, like it was like a really, really fun time. And like in my mind, I don't know what I thought VFW meant. Like I was gonna perform for a bunch of old like bitter veterans, like people from like World War II for some reason. You know, and, like they're still alive and they're angry,
right?
And like I'm about to go do some jokes. Yeah. But no, then I got there. I was like, it was amazing. Anyway, though, so afterward, though, like I was near San Diego, and I remember driving through, and I was just walking around downtown, and I look in a window inside of
Madhouse,
yeah, and I'm like, oh, looks like that's KJ, and like I walk in, and you're right there, man, and like it's just crazy to see. Like I feel like that's happened a couple times.
Yeah, I think
where I've just been in
yeah.
random cities. Like, oh, that's KJ.
What is KJ doing here?
Just in that random auditorium in a park.
Man.
It's like KJ.
Exactly. Yeah, man. That's been the move, you know, just to, you know, how to get that respect and acceptance everywhere, and you know, and people are just like, yeah, I want to see him go up. He's funny.
Yeah.
Let him get down.
Man, you're already there. And like, were you always this fearless at the beginning too?
No, I had to develop that too. Had to develop that. So after the little talent show and all of that, and then
Yeah.
in the Ann Arbor stages, after a while, I kind of on another spot. I developed in this other spot as well. It was it's like a poetry slash like talent joint little
All
spot,
right.
man. It was dope. It was called the damn, what was it called? The Elevation. So this show was called The Elevation. It was on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
It was downtown Ann Arbor. Shout out to Mike Fletcher, DJ Graffiti, Buff One for putting that show together, man. Those three dudes, man, great dudes. They produced a great show. So before me, it was always poets and rappers, and so they had break dancers one time in there. So nobody really did stand up there. So my cousin, one of my cousins used to be the doorman, or like he ran security there one couple times. So he told me about. He's like, hey, it's this little talent spot on Sundays. Man, you should hit that up. You doing the comedy and shit. You can go do your comedy there. That shit live, bro. I'm like, oh, all right, bet. And I'm young. I'm under 21 at the time. So like, they made you pay to get in that bitch. It was like, yeah, you gotta pay. I'm like, I'm performing though. They're like, yeah, we don't care. You got to pay.
That's right, $10.
Yeah. Oh no, this
Yeah.
Michigan is cheap. It was like $3, so
That's
it's
not bad.
cool. $3 go long in Michigan. I don't know if
Not
your
out
listeners
here.
are particular to California prices, but yeah, if you got $20 in Michigan, you and your team could drink. Everybody could get drunk.
That's funny.
at least you and two other people. $20 get all of y'all fried.
It's funny. Not in California.
No, not out here. $20 to get you a sip of juice. Like, yeah, you want this sip? Anywho. So they used to run this show called The Elevation at this jazz club called the Firefly Club, which was dope. And I think that's where I became like developed into freestyling a little bit more and just being a little bit more free on stage. And so like the first night I performed there, it was a super mixed crowd. So this crowd, because it was a black show, but it was like everybody's there. Asian kids, fucking Mexican people, Middle Eastern, everybody was in that bitch. So I'm there with my crew. It's like me, my brother, my cousin, and a couple of my homeboys and shit. And we all in there, and I'm in there like nervous. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? If I can make all of these people laugh, because it's such an eclectic crowd, man. And it was like a how can I describe this for you people? It was that crowd, it was like everybody in this crowd listened to a whole Erykah Badu album before. Like that's how the crowd was. In one of those crowds. Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of braids and bandanas and shit. A
lot of wood accessories.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Just a lot of homemade shit, craft everything. Very Mother Earth, but but a little bit of D'Angelo was somewhere. The R&B artist. I don't know if it makes sure people know what I'm talking about. So it's
In
like
case
that
you
crowd.
don't know who D'Angelo is.
Right.
He had 2 releases, I think, in his whole career.
I think actually no, he got
Was it?
4 now,
Was
like
it
4 or 5, because he came back. He got into some trouble, then he came back.
Did he
But
do multiple albums when he came back? Because
Yeah.
I know there was a big deal that he came back after like 12, 14 years or something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he did 2 albums. I think he did one solo and he did one with Bilal. But that's neither here nor there.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, that's neither here nor there. Don't worry about all that. But yeah. But no, it was that type of vibe. It was that type of vibe. It was like, one of the coolest vibes ever, man. And I just wanted, I just was like, hopefully these people, fuck with me. They love what I'm about to do. So I went up there. I did my first set there. I crushed it. And I had been, and I just started, working out there. But I wasn't as devoted to comedy as much at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love stand-up. I love doing it. But I was, like, I probably did it, like, every couple of weeks. Like, I didn't get up as much. And I didn't have the knowledge of other spots that was going on, too. So, like, those were the only 2 spots I knew about. Was the Elevation at that time and the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. And then like a couple weeks later, I figured out about this other spot called the Improv Inferno, which was the improv spot, but they had an open mic on such and such day, and I started doing a open mic there as well. And so like slowly but surely, I'm creeping up into the comedy community, but I'm still sticking to my like cool, reckless, college shit that I'm doing. Like that was me at the time. Cause at that time I'm still like, I gotta be a social worker. I'm doing the social work thing, and like this is gonna be my career. This is how I'm gonna, eat and yada yada yada. And so that was in the forefront, and then comedy slowly crept in. The more I got up, the more I had fun, the more I bombed, like everything. And until it became who I am. So yeah, but the Elevation was that spot, man. I was doing that for like probably a couple years until they changed up, and a lot of shit happened with them. And I started doing stuff in the D. Started doing stuff in the city, and in the city they had Mandy's, at Baker's. It's this spot that opened up downtown by the river for a minute, and who was running? I forget who was running that spot, man. I can't even think. I think Coco was running it at the time. And then I just started meeting a lot of more comics, man. Started running into some of my homeboys who I kick it with now. And yeah, man, you just pick up a lot. You meet a lot of people, and you learn a lot of different skills. Detroit will make you that will make you fearless.
Yeah,
that's the city that's gonna make you fearless, because the crowd in the city is like ruthless. Like you can't. They show you, they gonna show you love for sure, but you gotta earn it for sure. You gotta deserve that shit. They be like, oh, he cute, he a little funny, but you go up there talking that shit. They be like, hey, you can't talk that shit, bro. Chill out, shut up. Nah, fuck all that.
I am so thankful. I've been heckled. But not like that yet, with someone that's like super confident. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I've been able to shut some people down.
Professional heckler and shit.
Yeah, but the day that happens, I know I'm gonna have to get my ass handed to me in order to learn how to survive it.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. I had the wild heckle in Detroit one time. I was at this spot called Mandy's on Monday. Monday night mic, man, one of the most ruthless mics in the city. I was there, man. I was doing a set, and matter of fact, the set I wanted to do the set, but then I didn't want to do the set. How that happened was, me and my homeboy walked in. Shout out my man Darius Bennett, that's my guy.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that's my dude. So we was in there kicking it, and we both in there was like, yeah, we trying to get a spot. At the time, Popcorn was hosting it. He a Detroit comedian, Detroit, one of the legends in the city. And we went up to party. Was like, yeah, man, we trying to get a spot, yada yada yada. It was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna put y'all up, y'all next. So like a comic go up, then Darius go up. He do his thing, he come down, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to go up, and Popcorn like, yeah, I'm gonna put you up next. He told me he's gonna put me up next, right? I didn't go up for like 6 comics.
Oh, I hate that.
So I'm, he like the next person go up, then another person go up, then another person go up. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going up. I'm like, so I'm at this point, at probably like the 4th person go up. I'm like, I'm not getting up. Fuck it, it's whatever. So I'm just in there kicking it now, just talking to people, minding my own business, not even thinking about getting up. So what happened? What happened? So like 2 more people go up, then this guy goes up. Towards the end of the night, he used to open for Cat Williams or whatever. He's like, yeah, I've been on tour with Cat Williams out there. Funny dude from Atlanta, dog.
I don't know if that means he's funny or
he was crazy. He dope. He was funny as fuck, bro. He destroyed the room.
Cool.
Hilarious dude. I forget what his name is. I'm so mad I forget this dude's name. It's just hilarious dude though. He destroyed that night. And another guy comes in that I know. One of the big homies of the comedy scene in Detroit. His name was Kool-Aid, man. R.I.P. Kool-Aid, man. Shout out to his family, everybody. He came in. He talked to Popcorn. He's like, "Hey, put KJ up after this dude." So I ended up. So I didn't know I was going up. Popcorn get on stage. He's like, "Yeah, this next comedian, he done been on Def Comedy Jam. He done been on Comedy View." I'm looking around like, who the hell he talking about?
Yeah.
He done been on Comedy View. He did travel all across the world. Y'all give it up for KJ. I'm like, oh, fuck no, bro, no. You know, I had to go through the comedy initiation. So I get up there, bro. I'm like super nervous at this point because I'm not even ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking I'm not going up. And then he gave me the bold intro that I didn't even say shit about, which is like the first rule. One of the first rules of comedy is like, don't ignore the obvious shit. And I totally ignored it. Like when I got up there, I should have immediately been like, all of that shit is lies. I've never done none of that. Like I just came from a piece of shop. I'm broke as hell. I ain't been on none of that shit.
Or maybe played into it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I just got off my jet.
Exactly. I just got off tour. Y'all ain't
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, man, I went up there and it didn't go good. And at this time, I thought I was fresh too this night too. I had like I had a black outfit on, and I had a white belt. So I had a black jeans, black T-shirt. I had my Detroit hat, and I had some dunks on or whatever. And
Okay.
but I had that white belt on. Had a white belt.
Stylish.
So I go up there, start doing my jokes, man. It started off okay. Then I get into another joke, and it started going downhill. And these two girls start talking shit from the corner. And so I'm like, oh. So I start talking shit back. I'm like, hey, y'all need to chill out over there, yada yada. And then some dude on the other side of the room was like, hey, that white belt trash. Like they just start going in on the white belt, bro. And I just immediately just gave up. Like, fuck all y'all. I just became that the vendetta filled comedian. Like, y'all ain't shit. I'm trying my best.
This white belt was from Cat Williams. No.
Exactly. It was terrible, bro. I bombed so hard, bro.
Yeah, but we lived through.
I got
those.
ate up by the hecklers. Yeah, definitely. I had to bounce back, but that was like one of my worst nights on stage.
Oh, isn't that the worst feeling ever?
But that was like the big brotherness of
that was
the
like the
comedy
hazing,
scene.
right?
Yeah, the hazing. The
You gotta
hazing
earn your
was
stripes.
exactly the stripes earning part. You gotta go get them bruises, them punches. And I thank my my comedy brothers for putting me through that to make me tougher and make me stronger. So, and that happened plenty of times though. That wasn't just the only night. That was just the worst night.
Yeah,
There was other nights where that shit happened several times, but it wasn't as bad as that. I was like fighting like 4 different hecklers on 3 different sides of the room. It was terrible.
I heard Rob Lowe talking on Joe Rogan's podcast the other day, and he was like describing like incidents where like he bombed or he thought he bombed, and then like he asked Joe if he had ever bombed, as if it was like a handful of times, and like Joe Rogan, a comedian,
Right.
was like, oh yeah, hundreds of times,
Exactly.
hundreds, thousands, if not like. The more you do comedy, you're gonna bomb.
You're gonna bomb all the time.
Yeah, but you get like thick skin, you stop caring,
Mm-hmm.
and like somehow, like KJ said, it just starts becoming more natural and second nature to you to like get into those jokes, take the laughs when they're there, and if they're not, all right, mental note, keep moving.
Right.
Listen to this recording later if you do that.
That's how you earn your keep, earn your spot.
Yep, and like I think it's good. It's a good tool for life because like. I feel like as a result of going through so many bombings as a comedian in life, I'm ready to bomb, and it's not going to hurt me as much. Whereas like most of my life, I've been pretty sensitive. I'll cop to that, but like comedy, definitely thickening my skin, and I enjoy it.
Oh man, I remember
enjoy
I
it.
bombed in it. I did a set. I did a long set. I did like a 20-minute, 30-minute set.
Yeah.
And I started bombing like at 10 minutes.
Oh no.
And then the rest of the set I just bombed. But I was just talking much. I didn't give a fuck. I just kept talking shit. I was like, I'm finishing this set out. It don't matter. Like that's where you get that fearless juice. Like you know what? It don't even matter no more.
Exactly, man.
It don't even matter. Y'all here with me. Y'all can leave if you want, but we kicking it.
I had a guy yelling at me one time when I was wearing like a tie-dye Led Zeppelin shirt. And it was at, I don't know if you ever went to Father's in Santa Ana.
Oh yeah, Santa Ana Fathers. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Ramon.
Hernandez.
Yeah, that's
But,
my guy.
yeah, dude. Like I went to Fathers forever ago. Shout out to David Mendez. He booked me there on one of the nights. He
Oh
was,
yeah, David
guest
Mendez. I know
hosting.
that guy too. Well, shout out. Yeah, what up, D?
But yeah, I remember getting heckled by this cholo that was sitting in the front row, and he kept like saying, he saw my Led Zeppelin shirt, which says Led Zeppelin on it, and had
Right.
like the Led Zeppelin logo and an angel and a tie dye and all this stuff, and like, I think he was yelling at me, what was it? I want to hear the Beatles and like shit like that was nothing to do with it. Mr. Nirvana and like it was really hard to deal with. But at a certain point, even though this guy for sure could have murdered me,
Right.
I just stopped giving a fuck.
Right.
And I just started yelling at him and like laying into him, and like I told him to sit in the back, and he did.
Oh shit.
And like afterward, I got the fuck out of there fast. But like I remember just feeling like so empowered in that moment.
Yeah.
And I remember also during the middle of that set, somebody literally opened a door on stage and stepped out onto the stage while I was midway through my set, looked at me like I was the asshole, and like slowly walked off. Like while I'm up there, like okay, yeah.
Yeah, you
But
don't
it's
realize the
freaking-
type of power you have, man.
When you get the mic in your
When
hand,
that mic,
anyway,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
That bitch powerful when some days, and other days it'll get your ass kicked.
Exactly. Yeah, you just got to know which situation
Exactly.
is which.
The power is in the beholder of the shield, or I don't know. Whatever.
I vaguely get what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly. You know what time it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It's a lot of spots out here, man. Our Fathers is dope. I always have fun at Fathers. It do be hecklers in there for sure. Like, I feel like all the hecklers at Fathers just be like down on their luck dudes.
Yeah, it does have that vibe. Like a lot of fathers,
Yeah, a lot of
unironically at
fathers.
fathers.
A lot of fathers
Not-
just going through shit.
Not the good fathers that are going through the best times of their years.
Yeah, nah.
either.
They all just have some type of turmoil, like like a father that can't accept the fact that his son gay or some shit.
It was
or
a
his
strange
wife gave
place,
up on him.
man. It was a strange place for sure. Like
I don't know.
I remember a couple times too seeing the bartender get topless, and like I swear
Oh shit.
that happened there.
Oh man,
It was kind of interesting, man.
missed those.
Yeah. Interesting place. I don't think they do mics there anymore, though. Unfortunately.
no, not no more.
Yeah. Anyway, though, we better start winding down. I think I like to keep these short-ish.
Short-ish.
We're a little bit over, but it don't matter. Like,
Yeah,
if
man.
we want to, we can keep going.
Yeah, man.
But
it's cool. I like to follow the rules. I'm a rule follower. I got a
Are
certain
you?
ethic code. Not really, but
I was like, really?
Nah, when you black, you can't really be following all the rules. You can follow a couple of them, but
Most people in life, but I
Yeah, I
get
can't
definitely
do
what you mean. Yeah. But, yeah. Hey, dude, let's be real. It's a tough time right now.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, nobody's trying to get any sort of cop action toward us.
yeah,
Like,
bro, we don't want
Me
none. We
neither.
don't want none of the smoke right now.
no one does, man. But with everything in mind that we kind of gone over, and I know we've gone back and forth, but
Uh-huh.
if you could go back in time and tell like your younger self a bit of information or like some sort of wisdom, something that you've learned as you've gotten older, something that'll help him, little KJ, in his journey, what do you think you'd go back and say?
I guess it would depend on what time I go back.
Well,
Like if I go back to when I, was first getting into comedy, I probably would say I'll probably tell myself to go harder, grind harder, and don't wait for validation, cause like I really wanted like certain people to be like, yeah, what you're doing is good, or that's more important than this, or oh yeah, follow your dream, it's like yada yada. But it was always like, you broke? Oh, I didn't know you was broke. It was that type of shit all the time. So like, yeah, I'm broke. I'm doing open mics.
that is the unifying factor. Even if you don't come into it broke, keep doing it.
Yeah, bro.
You'll be on the same level as everybody.
Exactly.
eventually.
Soon enough. Soon enough, you will be. But I think that's what I would say. If I go younger than that,
Yeah.
if I go younger than that, I don't know what you know what I don't know what I would tell my younger self, like younger self, but just because I have both of my parents telling me the right things.
Yeah. Do you
At
look
the
up to your
time.
parents?
Definitely look up to them. Like, those are above everything else, above everybody else. Those are my heroes. My mother, Celestine Brown, or Sanders now I should say, and my father, Ernest Robinson.
Shout out to
Uh,
KJ's parents.
yeah, man, shout out to them. They gave me life. They gave me will and determination and a great personality. All of these different attributes that I have. And they told me all the right things, man. My pops told me, you how I should channel my emotions and use my personality to to live my life the way I want to. And my mother taught me how to be a professional young man and adult, I should say. But she taught me to care about people. She taught me to care about people, to care about family. She taught me helped me learn what was important to me, and made me figure that out at a young age. And I just been holding all of those things dear to me, forever. So yeah, I don't think I would go back and tell. I probably tell myself, just don't play around too much in class.
Yeah.
Pay attention more. Even though my parents told me that, but I guess I would probably listen if it came from future me
I think we all
with
would.
some fresh shoes. I'm like, oh, you fresh.
That would
I'm
really
like, yeah,
be
I'm you.
Can you imagine if you saw yourself from the future and he was broke? Oh no!
Right, I wouldn't listen to shit. I'm like,
Yeah, no offense, future me, but you don't know shit.
exactly. Are you fucking up? It's because you're not listening right now. Wait
Why
a minute.
Are you wearing
It's a weird
yellow
circle.
Cortezes. What did I do?
It's like, is that what kind of shirt is that? I'm gonna be like, it's this dude named Kanye that's gonna come out, and this is gonna be the shirts he wear. I'm like, you wearing a dude's shirts? Oh, no, I'm not listening to you, bro. So I don't know what I would tell my younger self, but comedy me, I would give a little advice to, definitely.
Well, if you could go and talk to some other people, comedians out there that might be the beginning of their journey, what kind of advice do you have for them?
Young beginning comedians, young and old. It's funny because like a lot of people start comedy. People start comedy at different ages, so it'd be like
When
old
I mean
guys that
young
start.
comedian, I really mean like a
The
couple months
experience,
in. Experience.
definitely. I know exactly what you mean. But young comedians out there, man. When they just starting out, man. Make sure you have fun for one. Make sure that is something that you love doing. Like if you getting up there bombing all the time, it's making you feel like shit. Like don't stop doing it. Don't go up there. It's not,
Yeah, I mean, if it makes you feel
it's
bad,
not making you feel good
it's not
about
supposed to do
anything.
that. Yeah.
Like even when I bombed, I felt like shit for a minute, but it always made me want to get back. Like I know I'm better than this. Like, or you always think of some funny shit you should have said. Like, what, I should have talked about that lady's weave.
Yeah.
Or you develop a whole weave joke because you just talk to yourself for 10 minutes. But if it's making you contemplate negative shit, bro, like get out. Go take a bath. Something.
Right?
I don't know. Relax. Get some bubbles in your life. But yeah, definitely have fun, man. Grind hard and respect. Show the game respect, bro. That's what I say. A lot of young comics, they expect so much shit, and it's like they forget to respect the craft, respect the art, respect people that's doing it, and respect how progression works. Because some people, young comics, it's funny because like I had that same type of mindset, but not really. Like you have a couple of good sets, you like, oh, I'm the shit. You're like, you're not the shit, bro. You just have fun a couple of times. That's all. It's like when you first start. Well, no, I don't want to say that, but it's just weird the type of invincibleness that young comics have. They feel like they on top of the entire shit, and it's like
There definitely is
you've done a couple of spots in your town. Like, calm down.
right. You need to be humbled. You need there is an ignorance that exists when you first start out. And, like things go well. Like I never used to look at how many silence moments there were in my set.
Right.
Until like year two. That's a year two thing. Like
Mhm.
the beginning. If I got 5 laughs in 10 minutes, that's a win.
Definitely.
But now maybe not.
Gotta get that laugh a minute swag.
Ideally.
Get that laugh a minute. You develop for that. You want to develop for a laugh a minute, and then you want to keep going to laugh every 30 seconds, and then if you could get a laugh every 15 seconds, that's the upper echelon right there, where your shit is
man.
on point, like
There's
the whole set rhythm like this. Ha 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 ha. Like your shit is going like you the man.
Yeah, there's an old set by John Panette in like 1987 or something like that that I see on YouTube every now and then. And it's like every 10 seconds there's a huge laugh. And it's like so deliberate, it's insane. He's just talking about going to a Chinese food buffet in Las Vegas for 5 minutes. And like, this is such a solid 5 minutes, man.
Bro.
It's crazy to look back on and to think that like, that must have taken that guy forever to develop.
Exactly, bro. I'm not even at that upper echelon yet, and it's just like
Most people aren't.
that shit is crazy, but it's so dope to see, man. And that's why I love being at comedy clubs at different comedy spots, and especially back in Michigan, because they let you kick it in there, like the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, man. They showed me a lot of love, and I got to see a lot of headliners. And I got to see a lot of people work, and it was dope. It was amazing. It was good. It was great to see people's mechanics and all of the the different styles and different deliveries and whatnot. And it just makes you want to participate more. It makes you want to do more. It makes you want to be bigger than you are or be more. All of those different things. So yeah, man. Shout out to Roger. Shout out to everybody at the showcase, man. And yeah, man. Shout out everybody in comedy that I fuck with.
Right on. Man. All right. Well,
Shout out the whole comedic Avengers. Fuck it,
dude. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there, and we wish them all well. Yeah. Before we get going, though, I always have everybody choose a song right at the end that's like special or significant to them.
A song?
Yes. Pick a song. We're not gonna sing it unless you want to. Unless you want to. But no. But it's just because I'm compiling a big playlist of songs.
Okay.
That are significant to each of our guests.
Oh man, this is probably like a bad question you asked because
no, take your time to think about it. Is it D'Angelo? I don't know. I don't know.
It should be a D'Angelo song. Fuck it, might as well. But like, no, music is like a big part of my who I am. So like, when you say pick a song,
saying, man.
That's like
it's
the most
tough.
Impossible shit I could do.
I know it's tough. Like,
you might as well told me to make a cheesecake in this car. Like, make a cheesecake in the back seat. Exactly. I would probably have an easier time doing that than picking a fucking song. But oh man,
nothing sticks out in your mind. Something that like you always come back to. Something that's special.
Something
to you?
I always come back to.
Yeah,
man. I come back to so much stuff. I love music. Like I said, my pops is a DJ. So now I'm about to go on another tangent. Sorry, everybody. Tangent coming.
Nah, I don't worry about it.
No, kidding. But yeah, my pops is a DJ, man, and so all genres of music, and I always come back to so much different types of music. Just, rap to alternative, R&B, all kind of shit, rock, whatever. And so I don't know, man. Like a song that represent this podcast? Or just me, period?
I don't want to like guide you and force you.
You got to narrow it down, man.
But I'll say, all right, a song that throughout your life you seem to come back to.
Okay, a song that I come out throughout my life, like just like I don't know, the theme of me kind of type of thing.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe every time you like finish a set, you go listen to like "I Believe I Can Fly," or like maybe on the way
you can't
there.
say no. I
I
can't
don't
say R.
know.
Kelly. Don't put me on the
I know.
R.
I
Kelly
know.
tip. No. Damn. After a set, you know what's crazy? Like I listen to a lot of.
Or do you have a song you listened to like before? Because I'll admit,
I do have a couple songs I listen to before a set, but like, matter of fact, let me look at mine. I'm gonna pick a song. I'm gonna pick a song right now.
all right,
Cause like,
it's a tough question.
song,
I
cause
know,
like
but
I just so much music, bro. Like I listen to a lot of old school shit. You know what? I'm gonna pick a song right now. I already know what it is. It's Ice Cube. Ice Cube song. I'm
which song will it be? Which
Let
song
me
will
see
it be?
that song, cause I like a lot of like old school junks.
You're either gonna respect them more or respect them less based
You know
on this
what?
one choice.
We're gonna do
No pressure,
Ice Cube.
KJ. This one choice. Just kidding.
So I'm gonna tell you another tangent coming. No, this Ice Cube song is from the album America's Most Wanted. America with it like spelled KKK. And it's one of the first rap albums I listened to as a kid. My pops had it. He had the explicit version, and he like ended up losing it, or somebody stole it, whatever. So he bought another version. He didn't know it was the clean version. And so so we was listening to it one day, and it was like, "Forget you, Ice Cube." It was like, "What the fuck is this, bro?" That shit was hilarious. But I would have to say, "Endangered Species."
Endangered Species.
Endangered Species by Ice Cube, featuring the great, one of the top 5, like one of the coldest MCs ever, Chuck D.
Oh, shout out to Chuck D.
Chuck D from Public Enemy.
I know you're not
Endangered
listening
Species.
yet, but one day you will. Nah. All right, we heard it here. Go check it out.
Tales from the Dark Side. Hey, that song is cold right there. That's hard, buddy.
All right, so you gotta only choose one now.
Okay.
Which
yeah,
one do you want them to go check out?
Oh no, that's the same song. It's called Endangered Species, Tales from the Dark Side.
Endangered Species, Tales from the
Ice
Dark
Cube.
Side by Ice Cube.
Ice Cube and Chuck D, America's Most Wanted album.
With 3 Ks.
And that's the first album that Ice Cube did after NWA, by the way.
A little bit of music history for
A little
you.
bit of history for y'all stinking ass.
All right, well, KJ,
It's my rap
been
attitude.
All right, man. It's been awesome hanging out with you.
Oh, man, thank you for
appreciate
having me.
coming out here and chilling in my car on a hot day and being yourself, man. As always, it's always a pleasure.
Thank
Good
you,
seeing you.
Thank you, brother. Hey, man,
And-
thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, my
I
pleasure.
appreciate it. I listened to definitely a couple of episodes, man. I'm a big fan. Always fuck with you, man. You always out here grinding, doing work,
Aw, thanks,
you know,
man.
providing for the community, and we love you for that, man. So thank you
Thank
from
you.
me and from other comics that that fuck with you for sure.
Well, thank you, man. It's a pleasure being in this game with you all. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be back in the future. I plan on having people back in the future. Is there anything else you want to promote before we get out?
Just what I want to promote, life, and my YouTube channel that needs life as well, because that bitch is dead right now.
It's hard to get traction on YouTube at the beginning, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
you
After
can break
now.
it down for me, somebody, please.
Hey man, you gotta YouTube. You gotta go to YouTube and then YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
To
YouTube
figure
rules.
out, figure out how it works. But yeah, man. Just check me out, man. Instagram, how to be KJ. Twitter, how to be KJ. Facebook, KJ Robinson Comedian, and Twitter, KJ Robinson Comedian. Just look me up on or YouTube, I should say.
I will also be linking him in every single
Yeah,
episode.
man. Just check
so
out my social
figure
media.
it
That's
out.
it. There's nothing going on right now. Okay. I was supposed to be featuring in San Diego a couple weeks ago. No, Corona said fuck that. Corona like a stepmama that hates your guts.
Right, and you can never prove they're doing it on purpose, but you
Exactly.
know they're doing it on purpose.
Exactly. No, you ain't going to the movies with Samantha. Your room dirty. Like I clean my room. Fuck all that.
What's this box right here then? No.
Exactly. Why your shoes out? No. Oh, sorry. It was repressed memories. Anywho,
So yeah, find KJ on social media. Please follow and like all of the posts for Danny Frank Comedy and for Danny Frank's Walks of Life. If you find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever, please subscribe, please leave a review, and please share and tell your friends. Every single share counts, every single listen counts, and you guys are helping me out by helping me build something bigger and better. So if you got any feedback, by all means, leave it in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me. And until next time, this is Danny Frank's Walks of Life. This is KJ and Danny saying
peace.
peace.